Martin, have you ever engaged in water sports?
Yes, sure.
As you were giving food to Hila, you said, one day I'd like to be on my knees for you. What did you mean by that exactly, Martin?
Oh, this is a hilarious one.
Oh, crap.
I'll be getting wet with the water. Unbelievable.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of H3Y. Today I'm with everyone's favorite water sommelier, Martin. Martin, for those who don't know who you are, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Martin Riese. I'm your personal water sommelier. What is a water sommelier? I think for a lot of people who never heard about the term water sommelier, they would think I'm the most pretentious guy ever. I don't think that I am that at all, because when you would see me on the H3 podcast, you will see I have a lot of fun and I like to make jokes. And I think when you have a term water sommelier, you need to make jokes of yourself as well. But my job is to provide you with all you need to know about our most important beverage in our lives, and that is water.
Right. I mean, there's nothing really pretentious about, being interested in one specific thing like you are with water. Like, that's to say, like, I'd be pretentious because I'm, like, one of the biggest H3 fans. No pretentious. It's just passion, Martin. That's what we have. All right, Martin. Let me give you a breakdown for this interview. I'm going to be giving you some icebreaker questions. These are questions I ask every guest. We have some Martin-specific questions. We have some fan questions. At the very end, we're going to be doing a water taste test. So as I was telling Martin, I usually drink a whole bunch during the interviews. So I'm going to go as far as I can without drinking so I can have as neutral of a palate as possible, because I want all the help I can get tasting all these lovely different waters Martin provided for me here.
Don't
so
dehydrate on me, huh?
Yes, I'll try not to. Martin, first question. Do you have any ghost stories?
Yes, I have. I used to work at Petit Hermitage Hotel in West Hollywood. That's a beautiful boutique hotel, but that place is clearly haunted. We even have a picture of the person who will haunt us all the time. It's a young little lady with brownish hair on the rooftop in the staircase. When you're going there on the 4th floor on the rooftop, there's a picture of her. And I used to be the director of food and beverage over there during COVID, so 2020, 21. And I will never forget this. I was sitting on my desk, and right next to me was the coffee station. And I just heard something from the coffee station. I looked over it, and I saw just an espresso cup moving literally from the shelf like this on the wall, and then came down. There was nobody there, and there was no earthquake. So that was clearly like her, Sabrina, what we're calling her. And then we had little service buttons. So you can go to each table and there's a little button you can press, and that the server know, oh, table 5 needs help, because it's very exclusive hotel, very private. Sometimes people having a little fun in the cabanas, let's say it like that. And it's totally fun. It's a European pool. You can be topless. Even we guys can be topless. Unheard of almost in America.
Right.
So we had the service buttons, and table 5, there was nobody in the garden. And I was at the bar, and table 5 pressed the button. And I was like, why is table 5 pressing the button? There's nobody there. I walked over there. Nobody's obviously there. The whole garden is empty. I walked back. Table 5 again presses. I went back to there, saying, how is that possible? And then the owner said, oh, Sabrina for sure wants service. She loves water and fresh fruit. So I put water and fresh fruit on that table. The buzzing disappeared. And the next morning, it was all gone.
Wow.
So for me, I was like, okay, Sabrina is real. Let's be honest here, that girl is real. And she was very nice, but sometimes she was thirsty and wanted some fruit.
That's weird. A ghost that was interested in water. So that means she must have been like, her ghostly essence must have been extra elevated in the presence of Martin the water sommelier.
Or maybe she was drawn to the pool. I don't know why she liked water so much. Like, that's her thing.
That's wild, Martin. Thank you so much for sharing. Have you heard my ghost story before?
No.
It's very similar to that first half of your story. So let me paint the scene for you. So I am a sophomore in college. I'm working away at my computer. It's 6 p.m. So it's like it's super bright out, sunny outside. I don't do drugs. Like I'm completely sober. And I hear this creaking at this table across my room. And at the time, I'm very into the whole gothic aesthetic, so I have pentagrams and altar cloths and stuff like that around my room. So, and at the middle of this table there's a pentagram on it, and my wallet is sitting like towards the middle of the table. So I walk towards to investigate to see why the table is shaking. Then I reach the foot of the table, and then the shaking stops. My body goes cold, and then I see the wallet sitting in the middle of the room, like jump towards me. like 6 feet across the table, super fast. It scares the fuck out of me. So
Oh,
I run
100%.
out the room. I get terrified, and yeah, that's the end of the ghost story. And it
Ah.
takes like 4 or 5 hours for me to come back to the room. Then I sleep with all the lights on that night.
Oh, believe that. Interesting. Like Garfield just showed up. He's like very jealous when I'm doing interviews, and he always wants to be in the camera as well because he thinks he's the superstar, and he is
Mm.
actually.
Well, he
He,
is. He is. That's right.
yeah, he owns me and not the other way around. So I have a little color here as well with his name, and it says like "call my servant" with my phone number when he's getting lost. And but he always like it's very interesting. So he sometimes, for example, yesterday night, he looked at the when I came home from Alaska. I just came back from Alaska yesterday. And I arrived, I put on the lights and everything, and Garfield approached me and was very happy to see me because the neighbors had to take care of him for the last 2 weeks.
Mhm.
So he was suddenly staring on the ceiling the whole time. And there was nothing, but like he was like staring that he like literally sees somebody. It was very strange. And sometimes I feel like maybe somebody's here in the house as well, and Garfield actually can detect it. Because you
Yeah,
were crazy yesterday night.
people
Yeah.
say that all the time that animals can have different senses that we just don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, Martin. Thank you so much for answering that. Let's move on to the next icebreaker question. So, how do you wipe, Martin? From back to front or front to back?
Water.
Water with the
It's all
bidet.
like, come
You need a
on, we are
bidet.
civilized, huh? Like, here we go. I'm European.
Nice. Is
Let,
our
let's
bidets
let's
mo-
flash it.
are bidets more common in Europe?
Yeah.
Really? Okay. How interesting.
Yeah.
I'm still caveman mode with the paper and the wiping back to
Trust
front
me,
to
I
front
do
to back.
both as well. Like, I'm doing paper and I'm doing water. So,
Hmm.
but water is just gets the extra special cleaning sensation. Let's say it like that.
And you said on Asia, you said you have a water filtration system connected to your house, so the
Yeah.
water hitting your ass it doesn't get much better than that.
No, it's nice. It's even remineralized now
Oh,
to
nice.
really get my little butt nicely done. So,
Fantastic.
yeah.
All right, Mark. Next icebreaker question. Who's your favorite crew member on the H3 podcast?
I don't have a favorite, and I can tell you why. It's the same with water. Like the idea of like, and you see me, all this crazy water bottles behind me. I don't have a favorite because then that means when I would have a favorite, I would just stick with that. And that would be at one point boring to me. It's the same with favorite food. Imagine your favorite food maybe would be pizza, but everyday pizza, every day. Oh my God, no, I could not do this. So I love diversity. I love diversity with my waters. I love diversity with my life. And I think that is a secret about H3 as well, that there's the dynamic between each others.
Hmm.
And that is, I think, what brings then the funny part really out. Like to say, like, oh, Ethan is great, or Hila is great, or Olivia, what I think Olivia is amazing. Even she's not there right now, but she's a wonderful, amazing girl. And I think the dynamic, what builds up, makes it actually fun and makes the magic of H3.
Hmm.
So there is no best member. The dynamic by themselves and the moments created, that is for me the amazing moment.
Martin, that's a beautiful answer. I will say, however, I feel like you're kind of copping out just a bit here because when I say, let's say my favorite pizza place is Domino's, I'm not just going to eat Domino's. I'm going to mix it up every now and then. But I would
Sure.
say Domino's is my favorite. But Martin, gun to your head, you had to pick one person. Who do you like seeing on camera the most? Not including Ethan or Hila, since they're the hosts. I don't count them. But one of the crew members, like who do you think pops up or who have you had the best interactions with? That's the person I'm talking about.
The dogs.
The dogs. Okay, fair enough, Martin. Fair enough.
I'm an animal person.
That's actually the first answer
I
I've heard.
love how they're coming over and they're
Yeah.
always super, super excited to see me when I'm walking in. For sure, they can smell me these days because I've been on the podcast quite often now.
Hmm.
So I have a great relationship with their dogs and I love them to death.
Hmm.
They're
Have you met
amazing.
their newest dogs, Olive and Chief?
Yes. Yeah. Last time when we were at no, it was, I think even this before the last one I was there because we did all the sausages and we
Mhm.
were a little bit afraid they will completely went nuts on when we're doing all the cooking with the sausages. But I met them once and they're great.
That's
I love
great.
them.
I love bigger dogs. I think they're so fun to play with and to
Oh yeah,
you
you
don't have
can
to feel like
wrestle
you're
with
gonna
them.
hurt them. Yeah.
You can wrestle with them.
All right, Martin. Last icebreaker question. What would be your last meal?
That's a tough one. That's really a tough one. And I think because I'm so into water, maybe I would even have said, you know what, my last meal should be maybe an amazing glass of water. And I would choose something what it's very, very hard to get because I like my life a lot. I don't want to die right now.
Hmm.
So, and I'm not done yet. I think like I still have so many things to do for the world, what I can give to the world.
Hmm.
Therefore, I'm not ready yet to say goodbye. So I would choose an extremely rare water, but it will take them quite a while to find for me.
Do you have any in
I have
mind?
a
Like,
little more time.
what's the rarest water bottle you can think of right now?
Look, when you go into little countries where you barely think there are waters, like especially East European countries, like Americans don't think there are amazing waters out there. I think that will be slightly challenging for America to get some interesting waters from there.
I see. I see.
Yeah.
All right. Very cool, Martin. Very cool. All right, let's jump into the meat of this interview here. I have some specific questions dedicated just for you. So the last guest I had on, his name is Hunger FF. He's a male porn star who's famous for fisting and prolapsing.
Good for him.
So for someone like Hunger, he requires a lot of lubricant. Do you have any water-based lubricants that you would recommend for Hunger?
I love that question. Let's be honest, huh? Because I'm European, we all have lubricants in our houses. Like everybody.
Nice.
Like I don't believe that there are people saying like, no, I don't know. I feel offended about this question. I don't know what lubricant is bullshit. Get to the case here. Like we all have it. Like we all have it, and when we don't have it, we're using maybe our saliva. But trust me, you can produce too much saliva. By the way, when we're going in this route, fully hydrated person has a better orgasm. There's a study been done actually, and it makes obviously sense that when you, for example, as a lady, drink a lot of water, you need to be lubricating yourself down there, and you can do this better when you're fully hydrated. So I believe in good waters to drink all the time, but I have no clue actually what the name of the lubricant is. What I have in my bedroom.
Okay.
Have it.
Right on. And you don't check, there's no TDS or anything on the lube bottle?
Hopefully not. I think like it should be actually by, and I'm always against purification, you know that. I'm not the biggest fan of purified waters, but I think when it comes to lubricants, maybe it should be better when there's a little bit less salts in it.
Right on. I think that'd be good for everyone.
Yep.
All right, Martin, thank you very much. Next question. So I was on preparing for this interview. I looked through like your last 50 or so TikTok just to see if there's anything, anything new in the water realm I might be interested in asking about. And one of your TikToks was H3 related, and the amount of mean comments you got was so crazy. TikTok is so brutal for like H3 related discussions. So my question for you is, have you received, what has your level of harassment looked like for being on H3?
Look, I'm always saying, and I have a saying for this. When somebody is starting to get mean with me because I've been on a podcast, then they're clearly dehydrated. They don't drink enough water. They're clearly having mentally other issues. What I feel sad actually, because for me, and it's very interesting. It's not just about H3. I've been this year, for example, on 2 pretty much right-wing podcasts as well. And some people reached out to me and said, Martin, how can you go to this podcast? It's super right-wing. They're pro-Trump. And I was like, you know what? I believe that every American should have clean access to clean, safe drinking water. I don't care if you're a Trump supporter, MAGA, or you're super left-wing, you're down the middle. For me, everybody should know about water. I don't make any differences there. And when we continue this hate to each other all the time, it will never get better. So I think for sure you have a similar saying in America, but in German it says, der Klügere gibt nach. That means the more smarter person will give to the more like dumb person. Like the smarter person will do this first step to bring down the heat. And this is what I always do. Like, I'm not arguing with people, except they're MLMs, except they're Kangan people. They deserve all the hate I'm getting. I will give them. And I did just a post about the Epstein files. And I talked about this as well in my very first 30 seconds. I don't care if you're left, right, or middle. Everybody who was on that island actually touched girls should be prosecuted to the full extent. And I don't believe because you're in the picture does not mean you're already like fuck little girls. Let's be honest here. But when you actually naked in front of other naked girls, that's just wrong. Huh? And I don't care if you're left or right. I don't understand this concept even of like, oh, Trump this did and Clinton did that. I don't give a shit. When they both did something wrong, they're both fucked for me. It's very simple. So
Right.
I don't know, like I will never be on one part. And this is a little bit, I think, where it comes a little bit tricky when you're like a good fan of a podcast. You obviously are proud of your podcast. I get it. And I totally understand this. But I think it's important as well to see when there's something maybe controversial on that podcast, and maybe in your belief, suddenly somebody said on the podcast something what you don't believe in, that does not mean because you're a fan of the podcast, you need to still cheer for him and still be like, oh yeah, he's the greatest guy ever. I think we should always see the middle ground and say like, hey, that was maybe wrong. And I love, for example, by Ethan, that he owns his wrongdoing sometimes. He's very open-minded. Like, let's be honest, I'm online since 20 years as well. For sure, I said stuff what this day I would regret. And I would say, like, I would actually talk differently about it because I learned. That's the whole meaning behind life. We're learning every day something new. And we can change even our topics about certain issues to see, like, hey, I was wrong for 10 years ago or 20 years ago. And this is where I really appreciate Ethan, that when you're so online, you're so in focus of the media all the time and on the social net all the time. Everybody talks about you. I don't want to have a job. I feel sorry for him all the time because this is tough. That is, I'm getting just a little bit hate. But man, this is so sad. It's so sad. But to go online and to say on his TikToks, for example, when he restarted TikTok, to say like, you know what? I want to apologize for certain things because I was thinking about it and now I understand why people thinking maybe this and this way. And that is the first step.
Right.
And you should actually honor that and not start more hate to it. And that drives me nuts. But for me, when I'm getting sometimes some messages, I think it's hilarious. I think it's funny. I think it's really funny. It doesn't bother me at all that some snarkers will go on my page of the water sommelier who brings attention to clean, safe drinking water to America and suddenly say, I don't like the t-shirt you're wearing because from Teddy Fresh. Give me a break. So this helps now the Palestinian children because you're going on my page and saying I should burn in hell. Like, it's like, what's wrong with them? Again, they're dehydrated. That's
Right.
all.
Unfortunately, their harassment campaigns have been so effective. So many people have just distanced themselves from Ethan and Hila because they're unlike you, Martin. They are terrified of any level of hatred that can come their way. So easily bends to the whims of the masses.
Let's say like that. I'm too old for that shit.
Yeah.
Like I'm like not bothered by like the most like good example. For example, I was just in Germany in October, and one of my very close friends is a little bit suddenly addicted to not just alcohol. Let's say it like that. So he has some family issues. There are some problems at home, and he uses now substances he should not use. Let's say it like this.
Right.
So I told him, like, let's have the talk. We were sitting in the car. He picked me up. He's saying, you know what? Let's drive somewhere. Let's stop the car and let's have a conversation. Because I'm here for you. I'm here, but you need to be ready to get help. But I'm here to help. Even I live in Los Angeles. You can always call me, whatever you need. And he said, you know what, Martin, you're my first friend who actually gives me the help. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, how is that possible that you have so many friends, but they're all disappearing suddenly when shit's hit the fan?
Right.
Your friends are there when especially it's getting a little bit tougher in life. Then you know who your actually friends are. Everybody else are just cloud chasers. That's all what they are. But when you have an issue and it's getting a little into hot water, I'm happy to bring my water to the H3 podcast and cool the whole thing a little bit down. So
and everyone loves having you on because, like I said, a lot of people have just for the fair weather friends is what we call them. Is when like you said, when shit hits the fans, nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, no, and this is for me like sorry, but these are not friends.
Right.
That's not friends.
Yeah.
And for me, like it's a German thing as well. I think like we Germans are very particular about our friends. I have very small amount of friends. I know a lot of people, but I have a very small amount of friends who I actually can call when there's a problem. And for me, because the H3 community was so good to me over the last years. They're great people, especially the fans. They're always reaching out, all the foot soldiers. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, how amazing you guys all are. And for me, that's the reason I will fight for them. I'm one of them, and I will fight, and I will do all my best to fight all this harassment. And imagine Hila or Ethan or somebody else from the show would something very offensive, even for me, I would talk to them.
Right.
I would say like, hey, that was not cool what you just said. I would say something, but be honest. But to dishonor them or like going away because there's some heat on the internet, sorry, no. I'm not doing that.
Thank you so much, Martin. We really appreciate you standing up for, Ethan, Hila, and the whole H3 community. It really rocks seeing all that. All you do.
And you see, there's a trend going back right now. I knew it already. It was a trend to hate on them. Mm-hmm. That is the disgusting thing these days with trends. Mm-hmm. That suddenly there's a trend to be lactose intolerant. Nothing against the people who are actually lactose intolerant, but again, I used to work in the restaurant business, and suddenly everybody was lactose intolerant. Like it was a thing to be lactose intolerant. It was hip to be lactose intolerant. And again, nothing against the actual people who actually are lactose intolerant. And this is the same. I have a feeling with the H3 community. Like there was a trend suddenly to say, because with the whole Palestinian terrible thing was happening there, and Hila and Ethan are totally on the same page, vice versa. We both think it's absolutely wrong what Israel is doing right now. Huh? What Netanyahu is doing, it's disgusting. Mm-hmm. That guy's a felon for me. He's actually, he has an arrest warrant on his head. Like, let's be honest here. That guy is a brutal felon. And I'm very clear about this. And I'm totally for free Palestine. Mm-hmm. And for sure, Ethan and Hila are the same. So because they're from Israel, or like Hila's from Israel, that does not mean automatically that you're a Zionist. Like, how crazy is that? But this is the same thing. I had it on Veterans Day. I did a post about Veterans Day because I used to be in the German army as well. I served my country.
Right.
I have a German and American flag in front of my house. So I put a video up to say, hey, on the Veterans Day, I want to thank for all the people who actually serve a country, because I know how much justifying that actually is, to really like go there and fight for freedom. That's something you cannot pay with everything, because when you lose your life for that, that's just like the ultimate price to pay. Let's be honest, not just for him, for the whole family and the whole friendship, everybody surrounding that. So I did a post about this, that I was like proud to be serving in the German army because we fight with the Americans for freedom. So some people on Reddit took that and said, look at that German guy. No wonder he's friends with Hila and Ethan, because look, he served in the German army, and we all know that Germany was Nazis. Like,
everything is connected. That doesn't make any sense, okay?
Like, how crazy is that?
That is so crazy.
I was born in 76. Mm-hmm. So that was way after the Second World War. I never been in the Second World War. My parents actually survived the Second World War. They're both over 80. They told me all the horror stories of that terrible thing. And I had once a person actually ask me on my socials, so Martin, how do you feel that Germany lost twice the war? And I was like, I'm actually thankful for that, because I don't want to live under a Nazi regime. Like, I'm super happy that Germany or Nazi Germany lost the war, because that would be disgusting to live in that kind of a country. But this is so strange. And that's the reason, like, because Hila was serving as well Israel. It was, by the way, mandatory back in the days. It's still mandatory in Israel. And for me, it was mandatory back in the days as well in Germany to go to the army. And nobody asked me. I was like, you're going. There was no like, yeah, maybe not.
Right.
Like, it's like, you had to go. It's that simple. And because now you served your country, you're the bad people. That's just crazy. I'm sorry. That's just, again, it all comes to dehydration.
It doesn't make, yeah, they're just so dehydrated, Martin. So true. But what's interesting is they were conflating you being proud of your service and also being friends with Ethan and Hila, who are Jews. That makes you a Nazi. That doesn't make sense, Martin.
No, absolutely not. But no, I was already a Zionist then as well. In that moment, I was a Zionist as well, because I'm friends with Hila and Ethan, and I served my country. And now I'm like the worst guy ever, because again, Nazi was at one point in Germany.
Right.
It's crazy.
And the
like,
Germans, the Germans today are like very sensitive and have been, very much, I'm sure the education system in Germany very much denounces and teaches you lots of what the
Yeah.
Nazis did and how terrible it all was.
We have over a year in history class all about Second World War. What happened, how it happened, how did it started, all these kind of things. And the Nazi regime was so smart. It was disgusting how smart they were, because they really infiltrated you from a very young age, like literally kindergarten. It started already to infiltrate all the ideas of Nazism into the very, very young children when they're like 2 or 3 years old. How disgusting that even is to polygonize a child. Like, what's wrong with people? And that's the reason I'm a little bit concerned right now about this country, because I see some trends happening. What we've been done in school, in history class, what happened in Germany between, pretty much 33 to 39 when the war started.
Right.
It is not fun to see that.
For
Very
sure.
weird to have suddenly, I want my name everywhere. I want my name on coins. Like, ooh, that's like, it's all started with this whole idea like, no, I'm more important than actually the country I'm representing. Very strange. Very strange.
It's very concerning. It's not a fun time here in the States, let me tell you.
Yeah, interesting.
All right, Martin. On the subject of controversial figures, one of your collabs on your YouTube channel was working with Jimmie Lee. Has Jimmie Lee tried to reach out to you since he's been kicked out of the H3 community?
Yeah.
Yes? Do you ever
And
respond
I
to him?
feel like there's two. I have a, I don't want to say love-hate relationship to Jimmie Lee, but in his core mind, I think he means good. He is in his core beliefs maybe a nice guy. He gets a little bit overexcited, and that is his issue, where then he cannot control himself anymore. And that is actually sad. I feel actually sad for him a little bit, because he's a funny guy to be around. I don't have any issues with him, but when I heard obviously what he did, then I had to break up as well with the relationship to him, because this is like, that was too much for me. Like, you
Right.
cannot harass other people. That's for me just like no go. Like, there is no, and therefore I cannot work with him anymore. I cannot do collaboration with him anymore, because I heard all the stories what he did, and therefore for me I had to make sure like I put myself into the right moment for myself as well, to say like, I'm so sorry, Jimmie Lee, but like, no, the friendship is kind of like over in that way.
Damn, that's brutal. Yeah,
That is sad.
it breaks
That
my
is
heart
sad.
too.
Again, he's a nice guy in core, but again, like when he gets too excited and he does inappropriate things, that doesn't fly. I'm sorry, you cannot do that. You cannot do it, and you should never do that.
Right. So I was watching your review because I was thinking about doing the joke where, like, say I'm going to try one of these waters and I pretend it's like alcohol. I'm like, it's so strong. I was thinking about doing that, but like, if he does it, then that's probably like surface level comedy. So I'm not going to be doing any of that. We're just going to be drinking the water straight. But it broke my heart when Jimmie fell out of favor with H3 for all those for the terrible things he did. Because I love Jimmie. I love cringe comedy. So I loved him being doing his stupid on street routine, not getting any laughs. I really like that style of humor, but unfortunately,
I did this
no more
once with
Jimmie.
him in New York. I was in New York. There was, I don't know when it was. It was right before, like, or way before actually all this shit happens with him on the H3 podcast, because I talked to Hila and Ethan and said, like, listen, I heard and I saw obviously the episode when Jimmie Lee was kicked out of the first of all, to go
Uninvited.
like, even that was already insane.
Yeah.
Like, how in your mind thinking that is a cool thing to do when you already know there's some controversial with you? Like, for me, I think to just walk up for fun, I think people would maybe enjoy this, even say like, okay, Martin just showed up. That's hilarious, actually. I had this almost like I was this close to do it for a Halloween episode, to like completely dress up and completely like disguise myself and just showing up at H3 podcast. But then I felt like, you know what, Martin, when you're not invited, you're not invited. And
Right,
they're playing
right.
well their podcast. And I have respect as well to all effort and work they're putting into an episode. A lot of people thinking they're just starting an episode and laughing about themselves. It's a lot of work. on the
Right.
background
And
to
it
do
could
this.
be like you could be coming like a really heated, controversial episode, and you don't want to just show up unannounced in one of those. That'd be kind of scary.
No, no, no. So therefore, I'm always like when I have an idea to maybe come on, I will share the idea first with the team.
Yeah.
This is pretty much how it works. Huh? Like when you understand like how that works. The first experience I had, Olivia literally texted me and said, "Hey Martin, we would love to have you on the show." I had to Google what H3 actually is. I did not know them for many years ago. It was like 4 years or 5 years ago already. So I had to check it out. And then I thought like, sure, I love that. And I showed up and I think we connected very fast, very easily over there. Because I don't think that they had in mind that I'm like that easygoing. I think the idea was a little bit to make fun, obviously, of the concept of a water sommelier, but I totally get why people making fun of it. And then they realized very fast, okay, it's actually fun to chit chat with Martin. Let's say it like that. And then from there, it started to build kind of like this friendship with the team and the dynamic that they realized, okay, they can utilize me more than just drinking water. And now we did like 2 episodes where water is not really the main topic anymore.
Right.
But then you're thinking about like, oh, what can we do? What would be fun? Okay, cool. I have the chef Bernard, a good friend of mine. Let's do a funny Oktoberfest episode with all dressing up. And I thought like it was a fucking hilarious episode.
Yeah, it's all
We
been great. We
so
love
much.
seeing you. My favorite one was when you tried like the nasty water hacks where they were squirting different
Oh my God.
water flavoring. That was so funny to me watching back at those.
that was brutal to me. My palate was really upset with me.
Have you ever drinking a water that made you sick?
Not sick yet. But oh, by the way, nah, actually I did. I think I was 12 years old. I was in Istanbul, and for sure I had tap water was not safe for consumption. But I had it, and I was very sick actually for a whole week.
Wow.
I had like it came out to all sides, of my body. That's really not fun. But I mean, like a bottled water I was drinking, and I had issues with that. No, I never had that. Lucky me, I never had that before.
That's good.
But can happen, huh? This is the interesting part about water. It can bring life and death on the same time.
That's
There are
true.
not so many stuff out there what is like that.
All right, Martin. I'm gonna give you 5 water brands, and I want you to rank them without knowing what's coming next.
Okay.
So the first one is going to be five water brands. You rank
But
them
what
like
is the ranking all about?
one is the best and 5 is the worst.
Yeah, but what does best mean?
How do you?
My sushi or best for my gym time or best for my humidifier?
Is there an best? Let's say best for drinking, best for relaxing
Doesn't
at the end of the day when
exist.
when you're most thirsty.
No, it doesn't exist.
Well, you know what I mean, Martin. This is the most
I can tell you
well-rounded water.
No, it can't be. I can tell you
God
why.
damn it!
No, I can tell you why. There's a reason for it why this does not work.
Okay.
Because, like you just earlier said, you love Domino Pizza.
Right.
Huh?
Uh-huh.
Others will say, I hate Domino Pizza. I don't like Domino Pizza. I will always do Little Caesars. So who's right and who's wrong right now? So his taste preference is Little Caesar. Your taste preference is Domino's.
It is.
All this water is behind me. My job is to find the perfect water for you. What you like the most. I don't have the golden palate, and there is no best tasting water. It doesn't exist because it depends what you like. Some people will say Porsche is the best car. I think that. Others will say, no, Martin, I'm from Italy. Ferrari is the best car.
Yeah, Martin, that's what I want. It's not an objective list. It's your personal
Bring
taste
it. Bring
preference.
it.
Okay.
I will just make fun of it.
All right, cool. All right. So the first one we have is Arrowhead. Where would that rank?
Hey, I think there's a little saying in Reddit now all the time when somebody doesn't feel good, give me the arrowhead. I saw this on Reddit several times because I've been on the live show. My first appearance when I was on the live show as an uninvited guest because 2 of the fans of H3 was at the restaurant where I used to work, and they came over and said, hey, we're going to the live show. You think, what kind of live show? Yeah, H3 is doing a live show. You see, I have no clue that they're doing live shows. So I texted Olivia. Olivia was already on stage. I think I was super busy. Obviously, she never reached out to me again. So I was just driving over there. And the show was already in progress. I came to downtown, and I walked in there, and security said, yeah, but we don't have any more tickets. He's saying, I need to go in. Trust me, I need to go in. Been on the show, please. I paid my whatever, $80 or whatever the entrance fee was back in the days. I don't know, remember. But I paid my entrance and I walked in there and I had no clue to what to expect. And I didn't know that everybody's recognizing me suddenly.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously Olivia recognized me that I was sitting. And then we had this issue with this lady right behind or like next to me that she was feeling like not well because she was drinking a little bit too much.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her, give her Arrowhead because Arrowhead has a lot of minerals dissolved. And when you puke or you don't feel good, you want the minerals. So my mother or my grandmother gave me all the time back in the days, like little salty cookies and this kind of stuff when I was throwing up as a child because you need back electrolytes. So I want higher mineral content waters when you're feeling not well. And that is Arrowhead.
Okay, so it sounds like it's great, okay, but where would you put it where does it go on the tier list? 1 to 5.
I've been on several of their spring sources that invited me to see actually how they're harvesting the water. It's absolutely fascinating. So I like Arrowhead. What is this? A to Z or what is this? A, B, C,
1 to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1 to 5. Give it a 2.
All right, that's the 2. All right.
Because I would love, 1 is for me a glass bottle.
Cool.
Has to be glass.
Right on. It's been a while since I've had Arrowhead, but I remember actually hating it growing up. But maybe my palate wasn't sophisticated as a child, Martin. But anyways, we'll move on to the next one here.
That happens as well. Like your palate's changing every 10 days.
Oh, really?
It's slightly evolving.
Cool.
All your taste perceptions reuniting every 10 days. That's the reason as a child you love sweet candies because you need to grow a lot of energies and sugar. But when you're getting older, you suddenly like vegetables because there are a lot of vitamins in vegetables, and that's what your body then needs when you're getting older. So therefore, your taste panel is changing over time to make sure you're getting the nutrition what your body needs.
That's cool. Good. Yeah, it's good to know. I'm glad as I'm getting older, I'm liking broccoli more and more because I hated it as a kid, but it's great in pasta now, that's for sure. All right, so Arrowhead we have at number 2. So coming up next, and you can't, like it's locked in place. You cannot change
No, I'm not moving it around.
Okay, cool.
2 is fine.
All right, coming up next we have Aquafina. How do we feel about Aquafina?
Is there 20? That's disgusting.
Unfortunately not. Well,
I would never touch that water.
Right on. That's purified tap.
And very simple. I can tell you why. Aquafina is nothing else than purified tap water from the house of Pepsi. I heard they're doing some sodas as well, what they're selling. Never heard about the company, but Pepsi. Some people know them. So they're using Aquafina. It's pretty much their highly processed filtered tap water. They're using a reverse osmosis to filter it. What I don't actually have a problem with. Like I have an RO system here as well. But the problem what Aquafina does, they are too cheap to bring back some minerals into this water. So their TDS level overall mineral composition is super low. It's like 4 or 5 TDS. For me, that's borderline dangerous to drink in my opinion. I would never touch that stuff. Nope. Aquafina, absolute no-go.
Very good, very good. So that you'll put that at 5.
Yeah.
Very good.
5 is the worst, yes. I would put it on 20, but 5 it is.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Coming up next, we have Liquid Death. Where would Liquid Death rank for you on the tier list?
I have to say, I enjoy so much the marketing.
Me too.
And I think the idea of, and I just did a video about Liquid Death again on my TikTok and Instagram channel because some crazy people online thinking that the words written on a can can alternate the water quality.
Right.
What is completely insane. Like literally insane to even think that. And the funny part is about that video, this guy who said Liquid Death is so bad wants to trick it into a multi-level marketing scheme, by the way. The crazy Kenyan people again. They are like, I think there's something in that water when they're doing it all the time because their videos are completely insane and outrageous. So obviously this water clearly has an impact on your body, but not in a positive way. Something is off with these people. Anyhow, so he, as an argument why he thinks Liquid Death is so bad, he brings up an article from the Irish Times, what is actually an article about debunking the idea of water crystals and that wordings can bring attention to water. So he was that lazy. Think about this. His proof of concept is an article who actually disproves him. And he puts his finger up in this video like this, and it says where this finger is, pseudoscience. So he was not even able to read that. Like, how crazy is that? So anyhow, Liquid Death, I love. It's a great marketing. I actually would put it now to number 1 because I appreciate how they revolutionized marketing. And it's actually a good product.
The marketing's so fun.
I love that they're actually using and helping. I did water tastings for them in the past as well. Last year I did a water tasting for several years ago when they just started. They wanted to know a little bit more about water. So they're not assholes who thinking they can do everything with marketing. They wanted to have a good product.
Right.
What I really appreciate. So it's not just the brilliance in marketing. They're saying, no, we need to be like firing on all cylinders, like a good car. We need to have a good engine as well. And they wanted to make sure they have good water in their cans. And I appreciate that.
That's great. So Liquid Death at #1. I love their marketing too, because as a metalhead, I just love metal, like heavy metal branding on stuff. It's just so fun for me. So,
yeah, there's one more thing. What a lot of people don't realize, because I had this little discussion then online study with some people who believe in a spirit. What is okay for me? When you believe in God, Buddha, Allah, Poseidon, what I believe in, the water god, whatever you believe in, great. When it helps you in your life, that's amazing. But when you're suddenly starting to tell me that your God is better than my God, we have issues. And that is like then a problem.
Right.
So what they did, Alfred, you don't want to play here, huh? Like, that's crazy. So what they did, they said, no, liquid death is bad because the Holy Spirit will be very upset about it to drink liquid death. And my response was, but there are thousands of people who use liquid death as kind of like an alternate for a beer can. So when they want to get sober or they feel like a little bit unappreciated from society because they don't drink anymore, many people, I know that, drinking liquid death on purpose so that it looks like they're drinking.
Right.
And it helped them to overcome their addiction to alcohol. So there's clearly a positive side to this can and marketing. And when then here, no, there's a downside because I believe the death word would be bad for me, I'm sorry. That's for me the same. I believe actions are more important than prayers and thoughts.
Yeah.
Action. And that
Absolutely.
is the action. Liquid death actually helps more people than the people who believe it will hurt them because there's the word death on the fucking can. Give me a break.
I don't want to meet those people that are worried about a word on a can.
That's scary.
That's nuts.
Again, very dehydrated, these people. Very dehydrated at this point.
All right, so here's the tier list so far. #1, we have Liquid Death. #2, we have Arrowhead. And 3 and 4 are still empty. So coming up next, we have the California Tap. How do we feel about the California Tap?
Okay, so very important to know. Not everybody has the money to buy themselves a filtration system, and not everybody has the money to buy bottled water. And for me as a water sommelier, I'm not a fancy guy who sits somewhere in a nice, beautiful 2-star Michelin restaurant and drinks the most expensive waters you can ever find. I did it on YouTube with Diplo and 2 Chainz. We opened a bottle of 9 H2O, the $100,000 bottle of water. I actually have it here.
$100,000?
Voila.
Wow.
Yeah. White diamonds on that whole thing is clustered with white diamonds. So yes, there is some waters out there who is extremely pricey, but that's actually the container and not really the water inside.
Yeah.
The water inside you can buy for $2. It's a good water from the California spring sources, so it's amazing water. But obviously that bottle was the tricking part to get people clicking on that video because we opened a bottle for $100,000. That's the whole point what that is. It's media, you know how that is, clickbait. So I don't believe to badmouth all the time tap water because I don't want that. Because a lot of people need tap water and clean and safe drinking water to survive, especially here as well in California. So it's not fair for me to say, oh, it's super bad because a lot of people maybe cannot buy themselves something else because they just don't have the money. So I don't want to fear porn people. Do I think from a taste perspective that water is great? No. It's highly chlorinated. I get it why they're chlorinating it, because our infrastructure in the United States in general is pretty bad and very outdated. They need to invest billions and billions of dollars to make sure we're actually getting good tap water back in our taps. But the problem is that the pipes. It might be not even the water from the Department of Water and Power. It's the link between your faucet and the Department of Water and Power, where the issue maybe occurs. So I understand why they're highly chlorinating it, but they want to make sure it's safe for consumption. Right. And it is right now safe for consumption. Is there maybe something in there what I don't want? Yeah, fluoride, for example. I'm not a big fan of fluoride. I think fluoride is great for my toothpaste. I don't need it in my drinking water. Forbidden by law since over 50 years in Germany.
Wow.
Because we don't believe in mass medication. And that's considered mass medication under the German law. So therefore, no, you're not allowed to put fluoride in any tap waters. And I like the idea there. Like when I want fluoride for my teeth, I have it in my toothbrush. I don't need it to in my drinking water. And I think like when I hear this argument about like, yeah, but people need it, it's good for your teeth, I think, give me a break. We cannot teach our children to brush teeth in this country. We are that dumb now. Like it's no, sorry. I'm like, this is too much for me. This is like you're so lazy to tell your kids you have to brush your teeth that you're relying on the fluoride in your tap. I cannot believe this.
That's ridiculous.
I don't want to give it a 1 because I know there's some issues, but I don't want to badmouth this completely. So let's go to the middle to 3.
All right, very good. And that means our last option here is Dasani, which I know you don't like. So that's going to be on the 4th spot. So here's
it will actually. And I will tell you why. Because Aquafina is on 5 and Dasani is on 4. Because Dasani at least adds back some minerals.
Nice.
Not many, but at least they're doing that. Versus Aquafina is so cheap, they're not even doing that. So I think I'm very happy actually with my
That's perfect. Yeah, you ranked it perfectly. Yeah.
Perfect ranking. I'm very happy about it.
Very good. Very good. All right, Martin, let's move on to our next question here. So, you've been very open with your sexuality in the past. I've always been curious to ask you, Martin, have you ever engaged in water sports?
Yes. Sure. Sure. I'm a water sommelier. Come on. What do you think? I told you earlier, like I love diversity. We should try out everything on this planet. I just have one life. I don't believe in a second or third life. Sorry, I don't believe in that. So I think when it's Jesus, Garfield, please, can you behave yourself on camera? I believe we just have one chance on this planet, and the energy I'm losing when I'm dying will go back to Mother Nature, and then reinvent something else. But it's not me. So I don't believe that I will be in heaven one point, or maybe in down there somewhere where it's a little bit warmer. Let's say it like that. I don't believe that somebody else will be me or something. That's just not my belief. It's just
that's fun, Martin. Yeah.
Right. And this is okay. It's just my belief that I don't believe in this. So therefore, we just have one chance on this planet, and therefore, let's have fun, enjoy ourselves, and let's go.
I agree, Martin. I agree.
But very important. Everybody involved needs to agree.
So true.
And has
That's
to
right.
be happy about it. That's for me what comes to everything. You can have your craziest ideas in your brain, but when you start to tell somebody they have to do something what they maybe don't want, bad, wrong, and you should behave yourself, and you should be at least that hydrated that you maybe can have that fantasy in your brain, but you cannot act like that. I'm sorry. There are movies out there. You can enjoy yourself with your fingers, but don't make anybody uncomfortable by having fun. That's just wrong.
Absolutely, Martin. Couldn't agree more. Before, during, and after sexual activity, is there a water you recommend the most?
Yes, I highly recommend for people who want to have a lot of fun afterwards, you need to drink something with very high mineral contents, because obviously you're losing a lot of sweat. It's very healthy actually to have sex. There's studies been done as well. It's like a workout, but it's great and gives a lot of pleasure as well to all involved, hopefully. So you need, because you're sweating a lot, or maybe enjoying in other ways your exposure of water, you need to obviously hydrate. And a lot of electrolytes are a great asset to bring back the electrolytes you may be losing when you're having a lot of fun. Let's say it like that.
Awesome. Very good. Very good. Got to keep those levels as high as possible. That's right.
Yes.
All right. Lastly, in terms of like the whole sexual realm, this is the last sexual question I was going to ask you, but
I'm European. I'm not offended.
I wish I had more. I wish I had more, Martin, but this is the last one.
Very easy with this.
So you said on your last appearance of H3 podcast, as you were giving food to Hila, you said, "One day I'd like to be on my knees for you." What did you mean by that exactly, Martin?
Oh, this is a hilarious one. And this is the fun part. Like, people sometimes ask me, so Martin, did you plan that? And obviously not. This is like a moment, it comes just into my brain. And I saw them both sitting there, and Chef Bernard just had the sausages ready. And I thought, like, I'm gonna serve this now. And then, but Ethan was busy with his commercial. So I thought, like, now it's Hila's time, and she needs to feel special because she's the queen. Let's be honest. And I thought, like, because she's the queen, I should be actually on my knees.
I see.
Simple.
I see.
So for me, it was actually not about sexuality. It was more about It was more about to honoring her for what she is. She's
Right.
an amazing mother to children. She's an amazing support to Ethan, and for sure, because I have a very amazing woman as well on my side, and without my woman, I could not be what I am. And I know that Ethan loves Hila so much, and that Hila is such a very strong, amazing, like support for the whole team and for their kids, that I think we should honor her sometimes a little bit more than just to have her. I don't want to say as a sidekick, because she's more obviously than a sidekick, but obviously Ethan is the head of the H3 podcast. But I think Hila's actually the stronger part in that relationship. And without Hila, Ethan would never been like that, what he is right now.
Mm-hmm.
And he knows it as well. He loves Hila to death. And it's so nice to see this beautiful relationship, what they both have. And I wish a lot of people had the same relationship, actually, what they both have.
Yeah.
I think that's where the snarkers come and play sometimes. They're just jealous.
They really are, because you see their dynamic. You know, I feel like they work so well because, you know, first of all, you know, Hila needs help breaking out of her shell, and Ethan needs that positive reinforcement of Hila always laughing at whatever Ethan says to keep him going. So they just work together on so many levels.
There's a very, very good dynamic. And I thought in that moment, I was just like, I think it was my place to be on my knees to serve her food. And then obviously I looked over to Ethan. I knew immediately he will respond.
Yeah.
So that was clear for me, like he will respond to that. And I think the dynamic was great in that moment. I love that little episode right there. It was a very magical moment in that show.
That's fun. Thanks for clarifying that, because like it very much came off as sexual in your tone of voice and how it looked. You know, yeah. With that clarification makes a whole lot of sense.
No. It was more like honoring her as a person.
Very good, very good. All right, Martin, tell me about your life outside of water. When you aren't reviewing waters or debunking water misinformation, what else are you doing?
It's crazy. I bought a house 3 years ago here in Los Angeles, and my wife said, like, you really want to buy that house? There's a lot of work we have to do. And I was like, I'm up for it. And she's like, yeah, right, you are up for that. She never thought I could actually be a constructor and could be actually a handyman to work around the house. I really enjoy that.
Wow.
It's very strange. I never thought I will enjoy it, to work in the garden, to build a deck, or to paint a wall, or to, like, I built all this thing here.
Oh,
like,
cool.
I built the whole thing.
Impressive,
and I have LEDs built in, phrased into the woods panels here. There are always LEDs in there. I built the whole thing myself. And I really enjoy that. Nice. I actually like that. And it's very strange, like, especially when I had a very rough day, I really sometimes come home and literally like look at my roses I growing and are happy about Mother Nature and see the beauty of nature. And that calms me down. So I'm a person who loves then in that moment the quietness, because I'm always this energetic person from nature. Like, my wife hated me for that in the beginning when we started to date. She's like, are you always like that? Are you always happy? How is that possible? See, I don't know. Maybe I took drugs as a child. I have no clue what happened in my life. But like, I'm very high energetic. I have a very high energetic level. And I'm not faking it. I'm always like that when you see me. But sometimes when I want to calm down, I go into the garden. Nice. That's great.
That's fun.
It's fun.
Martin, I will say, I am looking at you say you built your shelf. I'm a little anxious. What if there's an earthquake, Martin? All that shit's going to fall. No, Martin, he's got to pull some fucking earthquake measurement, safety measure.
You really it's so like, I built this for 2 years ago, and right now it's still totally fine. We already had some interesting earthquakes. So there is a good amount of space. Look at that. Like, before this bottle will move in an earthquake till here, I think other stuff will come down. Like, but this, look at this. Like, it's a pretty cool. I have like my little DJ equipment here.
Oh, cool.
I used to be a DJ. And
what's your DJ name?
Fabrics.
Fabrics.
Fabrixx. That was my DJ name back in the days. It was 94, 95, 96, like a long time ago.
Cool.
But I'm restarting a little bit and practicing, and maybe next year I thought like I'm gonna do water reviews and DJing on the same time.
Right on, Martin. So on the topic of the shelf, I'd recommend a lip. It's a little tiny little piece of wood just around, just in case if the water would push to the side, it gets stuck on the lip, so it wouldn't tip over.
It won't.
All the way.
No, it won't. And I can tell you why. When there's a little lid right here,
yeah,
and that bottle will move. It's so much energy that lid will do don't shit.
Okay, fair
That
enough.
will come off
Sure.
me. Yeah, I don't think so. It will be fine. I'm a positive thinker.
Okay.
Maybe one
I
day
am
you
too.
come
I am
in and
too, Martin.
something
But
comes down.
I just like to prepare for the worst as well.
No, I love this. I think it's great, but like I'm confident it will survive.
Awesome. All right.
Yeah.
We'll see about that, Martin. We'll see. All right. Next question here. What are your thoughts on water parks?
Interesting. So my wife is a former Olympic swimmer.
Mm,
So she likes water in a different way. Let's say it like that, because her element was more like swimming in it.
yeah.
So when I go to a water park or to my pool here and I'm trying to swim, she's laughing about me because she thinks I look like a dog who's trying to survive somehow the water. And for sure, like I think I can swim, but I'm honest, I could not be in the ocean for like a half an hour and swim. I would tank like the
Me too.
Titanic.
Definitely.
And I would be on the bottom somewhere, like having fun with Captain Nemo now. So therefore, I like water parks. I like the idea of like going down a slide or something. I think that's hilarious. But I'm not a person who would hang out 24 hours in a pool and swim his rounds back and forth. My wife can do that, and she's amazing in that, and she will kill literally everybody in the pool when she starts to swim. But that's not for me. I like to hang in the hot pool. That's more like with a glass of champagne, the other water. I like that.
Awesome. Very good. What are your thoughts on peeing in the water park in the pool?
No go.
Awesome.
Very simple. Let's be honest. No, we're all humans, and we figured out that there's restrooms. We designed them. Very smart people designed them at one point. There is no need for me to be that lazy to pee in the pool. That's just wrong. I'm sorry. When you're into that fetish, do it at home in your bed or do it in your hot pool at home or whatever. Put it on whatever you want to do it, but don't do it where other people are affected to it. It's the same for me with washing their hands in the restroom. I think it's absolutely disgusting that we still need to remind people to wash their hands after they're going to the restroom. I see this on the airport every day when I'm traveling, and it's absolutely it's for me like the worst thing. And I will say something. I'm like super serious German when it comes to that. When I see somebody walking off without hand washing, I will call them out. Because that's just wrong.
Right
I'm
on.
sorry. You're touching everything else, what I maybe touch at one point. No. No, 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 no. Absolutely
Awesome,
no
Martin.
go.
I feel the same way. All right. Next question, Martin. Let's talk about some water-based movies. I have some water-based movies here I want to ask about. Tell me if you've seen them, and if so, what are your thoughts on them?
We'll see.
First one is Waterboy. Have you seen Waterboy?
Nope.
No? Okay, very good.
I know the whole story, obviously, because I've been so many times tagged or named, he's the real water boy, or Adam Sandler has nothing on him, or something like this. There is that picture of me, I did it once, where I put my face into the water boy picture, and I said, here's the real water boy. And so you can find it for sure on my Instagram or social somewhere. When you will maybe water boy Martin Reason, maybe that shows up that picture. But I like to make fun of that, but I never watch it because I'm not the biggest Adam Sandler fan. If I'm honest, he is not my joke. For sure, he's amazing. Because I don't like somebody does not mean he's bad. He is very successful, and for sure, he's very, very good. It's just not my comedy.
No,
It doesn't
totally
resonate.
reasonable. It's not for a lot of people. I feel like I grew out of Adam Sandler when I was like in my teens.
Yeah. So therefore, it's a movie I will not watch. I'm not really a big fan of him as what he brings to the table. But for sure, he's amazing. But it's just not for me.
It'd be really fun to see like pick apart scenes of the movie that are for water misinfo potential or water accurate, because there are some water scenes specifically. There's one where Adam Sandler's character is boiling the water for his teammates before they can drink it to make it as clean as possible, something like that. So it'd be fun to see like review certain scenes like that.
Interesting part there, huh? Boiling the water. So what you're doing when you're boiling the water, a lot of people, there's a huge misconception about it. So when you boil the water, that means you're killing mycobacteria. That's all what you're doing. When there may be heavy metals, like lead, for example, in your water, you're actually concentrating that level. You make it worse, not better. So chemicals cannot evaporize. So what does water do when you're boiling it? It will kill again mycobacteria due to the heat, but then water, H2O, has so much energy that it will become into a gas, and it will evaporize.
Mhm.
So the rest of the water, what hasn't been able to recognize yet, will still have the heavy metals in it because they cannot evaporize. And that's the reason you will literally concentrate a poison soup at that moment. So when people are saying, boil your water to make it cleaner, no, it's the other way around. You're actually putting more stuff now, or not more, but you're concentrating the stuff what's in there.
That's right.
So boiling water is just for bacteria. Very important.
Very good. Very good. Thank you so much. All right. Next movie, Martin. What are your thoughts on the movie Shape of Water?
I watched it once. I think it's a very artistic water. I like the water. I think this is totally fine that they received an Oscar for it. I think it was very interesting to see for me the engagement with this water, what you call is not even animal, with this water figure.
Mhm.
So I think it was very well done. I love the love story, and it showcased, in my opinion, that you don't fall in love with a sex, you fall in love with a person. And that brings me to the point, I will never understand why people fighting against gay and lesbian rights. I will never understand that.
Absolutely.
I strongly believe that every person on this planet should feel loved. And when you love your same sex, good for you, amazing. But be happy. So I don't understand why other people need to force me to love some certain things. It's very strange to me.
That's
We'll
perfect.
never
Yeah.
understand that.
I've also seen the movie only once. I had such a great time watching it. I really want to rewatch it again sometime soon.
Yeah, I should do this as well. It's a good one.
All right. Last movie is Aquaman. Have you seen Aquaman?
Yes, 100%. Because I was last year, they showed it on TBS. And they had, who's the main actor from American Pie?
American
The guy
Pie.
who had a little bit fun with his apple pie.
I think his last name is
What's his name? He's a nice guy.
Biggs, Jason Biggs. Something
Yeah,
like
correct. Jason Binks or something like this.
Yeah.
So he and his wife were the host of Dinner in a Movie for TBS. And they showed Dinner in a Movie with Aquaman, and guess who was their guest? It was me.
Wow.
So we watched it together on TBS, Aquaman, and during the commercial breaks, we did a water tasting and talked about water. And I watched showcase last year on TBS. It was very good. I had a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
I had a lot of fun. It was a really funny, cool, great episode.
That's fantastic, Martin. Would you name your firstborn Aquaman?
I think you saw the video, my response to what's his name? To Moses, when he justified his name, baby Aquaman. That's absolutely ridiculous. And I'm sorry. And this is comes for me to look, I never met Moses. I never met Trisha. I don't have an opinion about them. I know a little bit the controversy about them and the dynamic between H3 and them, but not so much. I'm not, and to be clear, guys, I'm not a hardcore fan who watch every episode of H3. I just don't have time for that.
Yeah.
I'm a very busy guy, and I do a lot of other media stuff. H3 was not my first media. I've been for many years ago on the Your Mom's House podcast with Tom Segura already. I've been twice on his podcast for many, many years ago. And Tom is, we texting each other sometimes. He's a cool guy. I really like him. He's such a cool guy. He was just at Gwen as well, at Restaurant Gwen, where I have the water menu. And he showed me, he literally, he taped himself a video and said how cool is that, man, that you have a water menu here. Congrats, bro. So it was very nice. We have a nice, interesting relationship. It's not friendship because I don't see him all the time, but we know each other and sometimes we text each other. And I have this with many other celebrities. What is fun? It's cool. It's nice. But for me, they're all humans.
Yeah.
I don't see a difference between an Ethan Klein, a Tom Segura, or Leonardo DiCaprio. They're all, for me, people. They're all people I know, I appreciate, I work with them, and they're great. I like them because I know them on personal levels.
Yeah.
So for me, with the Aquaman topic, that was just a showcasing to, kind of gain clickbaits for a name of your child. And that is wrong to me.
It's pretty crazy.
And I think that video, what I did back in the days, I clearly showcased why it's wrong, because there's so many beautiful words you can name your child when you want to do it from a aqua-related standpoint. It does need to be Aquaman, but Aquaman is clearly a comic and movies. There's no other history behind Aquaman.
Yeah.
So tell them when Moses said, but from an original standpoint, his name is Moses, and that's a totally different pair of shoe than calling yourself after an action figure.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's just wrong. Like, no, no, no. And again, like I can say it here as well. My first name is not Martin. Martin is my middle name. My real first name is Jerk. It's spelled Jerk, like jerk. That's my real first name, but
That's
I choose Martin
uh-huh.
because it's just easier on me. And I said this in that video as well. So I've been raised with a very unique name.
Yeah.
It's not always fun because in the German language, reason my last name means the giant. I'm 5'6". I'm not big. So in Germany, people made already fun of my last name. And here in America, when I came, they thought, your real first name is Jerk? So I've been there and I've done that. So I've been in the shoes of the Aquaman baby.
Mhm.
So it's just wrong. And my parents, obviously, and I cannot be upset with my parents because, first of all, Riese, yes, is just my last name. There was no accent about that. And my parents didn't know that I'm just coming to 5'6" and not taller. So that's just a coincidence. But my first name, Jerk, means Jerk, totally different pronunciation in Germany, and comes from Eric, an old, very old Scandinavian name, what was in use in the 1500s. So nobody knew in the 1500s that jerk will be becoming at one point a name or like a synopsis for an idiot in America. Like when they used that wording already in the 1500s in Europe, and your country was built in 1776. So they used that word already 200 years prior to became maybe something bad. So my parents had no clue that I will at one point going to America become known maybe even in America, let's say it like that, and that my first name will not fly.
Right.
They didn't know that back in the days in 76. So I'm using my middle name Martin.
That's fair enough. And on the opposite coin, Trisha and Moses should know the consequences of naming your child Aquaman because
They know.
yeah.
They did it on purpose for click. And that is the sad part. They know that their children will have a problem. And I said this in this video as well. Your job as a parent is to protect your child from all harm. That's your job, what you're signed up for when you're creating life on this planet. Your job is to protect all harm. And to give a baby a name, what you already know it's going to be controversial. And you already know in the beginning you have to make a video to justify that name. Maybe there's something off. And then his argument, oh, when you think the name is bad, you're maybe the bully. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? So you're blaming me now because you actually gave your child a crazy name? I'm sorry. Would not have flowed in Germany. In Germany, there are strict rules about baby names.
Really? That's interesting.
And no, and this is the interesting part. So a lot of people in America are always thinking freedom of speech. And I get it. Freedom of speech, I think it's extremely important. I can say whatever I want right now on your podcast and nobody will show up. In 2 years, maybe it's different already in this country because we don't know yet. Right. It looks like it goes the wrong way, actually. The freedom of speech is like slightly like putting away. The problem is in Germany, where people then think, oh, you don't have freedom of speech. Actually, we have. But we know what hate speech is as well. So, for example, to honor Hitler, for example, would be hate speech. Therefore, it's forbidden by law. Right. You cannot put your hand, and I don't want to do it because I cannot even do it physically because it would give me so much pain in myself to put my hand up the air. What Elon Musk did on his convention. I don't know if he did it on purpose or not. He should know better. In Germany, every celebrities are trained. When you do that, you're canceled and you're done. There is absolutely no go.
I wish that was the case here. I just wish it was.
So therefore, there are strict laws when it comes to hate speech. And it starts then, and then the government sees we have to protect sometimes as well the children from their parents. And it comes to names, for example. So there are some names out there you just can't use. You cannot name your child Adolf Hitler. It just doesn't fly. It's not going to work and nobody will do it. But that will be a problem eventually for the child. Therefore, the government is saying, you cannot do that because we have to protect now your craziness for your child. So these words of Aquaman and all this kind of stuff, or like what Elon Musk gave his child, like this, whatever, like Semitic numbers, C Ping Ing 5, doesn't fly in Germany.
Right.
So it's not going to happen. Nope.
Shout out to Germany. That's great.
Common sense.
Still
Common sense is still there.
on the topic of your relationship, how long have you been dating your partner?
So Nancy, I met her in 2005. We worked in
Wow.
the same hotel. So
Okay.
I was running the Michelin star restaurant and she was running the housekeeping department. And we didn't like each other at all.
Mm.
I thought she's hot. Don't get me wrong. I always thought like, oh my God, I like to have a little fun with her. I don't want to deal with her.
Hmm.
But I would love to have a little fun. And she just thought like I'm crazy. Like this happy guy always like, what's wrong with this guy? So anyhow, one day I I walked into the flower department where she worked and needed created some flowers for my guests in the restaurant, and she was on her knees. And I was like, I like that look.
That's what you said? That was
And
your
no,
opening
no,
line?
but I thought it.
Oh,
I thought like, I like
okay.
this, what she's doing down there. That looks
Oh,
good.
God.
And I was like, I maybe should ask her out, whatever. Huh? Like, and I
Okay.
asked her, she's like, look at me like, what do you want? She's taller than me. She's blonde. She's gorgeous. Huh? Like, what do you want from you, little guy? Huh? But then she thought like, what? Okay, like he's running the Michelin star restaurant. He cannot be that crazy of an idiot. At least we can have a coffee.
Okay.
So we went to a coffee spot, and then it was like pretty early in the evening, and we wanted to go out for dinner, and the restaurant was still closed. And then we're driving on the Autobahn, and she was sitting right next to me, and we thought like, what are we gonna do now? Let's have a cocktail or something else in a bar or something prior. But like, it was a weird time, 5 o'clock. It's a strange time in Germany.
Mm.
Like, it's not really like that you're going out yet, but it's not like that something is open yet, bars or something. It's a little bit later, everything in Germany, because they are like pretty much open 24 hours. You can party till 10 o'clock in the
Oh,
morning.
nice.
There's no 2 a.m. closing time for alcohol. That doesn't exist in Germany. You can drink whenever you want. So, by the way, huh? Freedom of speech or freedom. We don't all have that craziness. You can drink whatever you want. You can't even drink your beer in your car with 120 miles driving it. It's totally fine. Because the German government is saying you cannot be drunk driving. But where you consume your beer is in the car, in the bar prior, it doesn't matter.
That's so
Common sense
interesting.
kind of life. So you can drink in front of a kindergarten, in front of the police station, a beer in your car. It's totally fine. Nobody will say something. Anyhow, so we're driving on the Autobahn, and I was like looking at Nancy, and I said, Nancy, I have a bottle of champagne in my fridge. We can open that. And she's like, yeah, we can do that. And I looked at Tracy, and I thought in my head already, again, how crazy I am. She's nice and easy. How cool is that? Because for me, in my plan, I had the whole evening already like planned out. Like, I want to have a little fun with her. Bottle of champagne, and let's go. But she had no even thinking about that. So we killed this bottle of champagne. I tried to kiss her, and she's like, what the fuck? Like, what is this? And so I had to put a lot of effort to it until she gave up. Eventually, she said, like, okay, this little guy is now my partner. And now we are married. We came over to the States in 2011 together, and we married since 2013. And she's great. She's awesome.
So what do you mean? Did you just keep asking her out until she said yes, or?
Yeah, kind of like she gave up at one point.
Okay.
Consistency
I guess
all the
they do
time.
say persistence is the key, but that does seem
Yeah.
a little spooky to take. You know, there's a fine line between being persistent and being like harassing at
No, I didn't
a
have
certain point. You know.
I would never do that. I
Gotcha. All
would
right.
never do that.
That's
And
great.
now we have now a long distance relationship. She lives in Alaska and I live in like California. So
Oh,
it's a
that's
little
why you were
tougher right
traveling to
now.
Alaska.
That's the
Okay.
reason I was in Alaska right now, because she runs their beautiful resort hotel. It's called the
Uh-huh.
Alaska Resort in Girdwood. Incredible. Whatever wants to go to skiing, go over there. And kind of like Alaska is now my second home state. I really like it there. A lot of people recognizing me there. It's really funny. I was at Costco, like 3 or 4 people showed up and said like, "Oh my God, I love you."
Oh, that's
And I
great.
was like, "Oh my God, what's happening? Who are you?"
You have a very
Uh,
unique look to yourself, so I'm not surprised people recognize you all the time. You have your glasses and your hair. I feel like at least right now. I know you've changed your style. You've changed your style a bit over the years, but that's kind of like how I
Yeah,
imagine
but
you.
that's normal. But I understand this is branding, pretty much the glasses
Yeah.
and my spiked hair, and then I always have like very like clothing that's very like colorful, let's say it like that. So that is definitely a little bit my branding as well.
Hmm.
But I'm always surprised how many people recognize me, because I want to say like I would not recognize a lot of people I follow on Instagram and TikTok.
Hmm.
But for me, I'm always surprised. But
Hmm.
it's nice.
Yeah.
So far, it's always very positive when people recognizing me. They're always coming to me. They want to take a picture. They want to say hello. And I love this.
The German accent, the accent's the dead giveaway too, I feel like.
Yeah, 100%. Because they're always asking, are you on TikTok? That's the first question. Or like, are you the water guy? And I'm always saying, I have no clue what you're talking about. And they're like, you are it. So I make it a little bit fun then, obviously. But
That's great.
when you see me, guys, don't hesitate. Always say hello because I love to talk to people. I think that's the reason, like, I love to be online because I actually want to help. And I'm not a guy who does it for clicks because I don't give a shit about clicks. I don't give a shit about famous stuff or something. I just want to help people. I like to help people on this planet. I do it with water. And when you want to say hello to me, please do. Don't feel like, oh, maybe Martin wants to have his privacy. I'm always happy to talk to everybody.
That's good to know, Martin. Thank you very much. I hope I run into you in person one day. I think that'd be great. The last question I have before we jump into fan-specific questions, still on the topic of dating. Would you date someone, let's say they're the most perfect person in the world, but they only drink purified tap? Would that be a deal breaker?
No, not at all, because I will change it easily.
What if they're a very stubborn person?
Yeah, no, it's great to be stubborn, but trust me, I will trick them into spring at one point.
Okay.
I
If you have enough faith in the good waters that they will change
convinced
regardless.
a lot of people in my life. I think I'm up for the challenge. Let's say it like that.
All right, very good. Very good, Martin. All right, we have some.
But I won't date because I have my wife.
Right.
That's simple.
Very good, Martin. We have some fan-related questions. We have a few, but I'll just try to narrow it down to two here. What is your least favorite thing about living in the U.S. and what do you miss most about Germany? This comes from Warpixel.
So what I miss the most is the different. I don't want to say the different cuisine because you have great cuisine here as well in the United States. But the overall level of the quality of food in Europe is just better. Let's say it like that. It starts with like little like when you're going to the grocery store, the food quality by himself is just better. It's just better and way cheaper. Like it's like a fourth of the price of America.
Wow.
And for a way better quality. Like way better quality.
Cool.
And there are not so many chemicals in our food. It's all forbidden by law in the European Union, what I think is great. Again, like freedom of speech. No. Certain things needs to be forbidden. When it comes to some crazy stuff. And why is your bread suddenly like 5 weeks can be hold on the shelf life? Trust me, there's more into your bread what you maybe don't want to have. So I miss the normal quality of food in general. Not about the fancy food, because you have in America, or especially in Los Angeles, so many amazing restaurants and so many great different cuisines. What I really appreciate and love, again, I love diversity. I love everything. I eat everything and drink everything. But when it comes to, in general, the food quality is just better in Europe. That's what I miss. What I really appreciate in America, I love this overall, like, even it's plate happiness, but sometimes it helps to come over your bad days, that everybody's very easygoing. Especially in Los Angeles. Everybody's just like smiling at you most of the times. You can easily talk to people. You can find very fast conversations, what I really enjoy. Like, I like to talk to people, and it's pretty awesome to build relationships super fast. I like that. I really like that. I really appreciate the openness for a new conversation. Is the conversation meaningful in the end? That's a different part of shoe. Because that's the thing in Germany, like when you actually talk to people, they want to talk to you. Here in America, it's more like, yeah, we're going to talk to you because we are nice and we are friendly to each other. But I like the first approach of openness, that you can talk freely. I like that.
That's good. Really, I'm glad you appreciate that, Martin. All right, last question I have for you here comes from Tara. So Tara says your main shtick is bottled water, but what do you think about well water?
Yeah, some bottled water come from wells. So I love water in general. Obviously, for me as a water sommelier, because I cannot run from one well to another and taste them. That's pretty tough for me to go on private land, maybe what they have a well. So mostly in my channel, I talk in general about bottled water, but you see my channel as well, a lot of things I talk about water in general. So for example, I just did a video about ice cubes, for example.
Oh, I
Like
saw that one. Yeah.
it's cloudy and why are some other ice cubes not cloudy? And these kind of things. So for me, in general, I talk about water, but I love people who are having a private well and they're sourcing their well water for their house. By this being said, obviously you have to make sure as well your well is safe. So you should at least once per year, you need to check out your well, because when you're living maybe in a slightly remote area and you maybe have farms surrounding you and the farms are maybe putting something into the ground sometimes to let their stuff grow faster, maybe you should check actually about your well. Is it still okay to drink?
Yeah, I definitely
I
have that
recommend, like,
tested.
when you're on a well, you have to maintain your well and you have to make sure it's safe.
Yeah, you never know what kind of chemicals could be leaching in there. Like I
Okay.
said, I told you I used to do I used to study like water treatment when I was in college, and some of the studies we did was on well water and how like babies drinking from well water could get this thing called blue baby effect if there was too much
Yeah,
like nitrogen or nitrites in the water.
correct.
So yeah,
But I
definitely.
told you, that's the interesting part about water. We're always talking about it. We need it on this planet, but on the same way, it can bring very bad harm to us as
That's
well.
right.
There are not so many elements out there who can do both in the same time. So we have to be a little careful there. Water, again, is a universal solvent. It will dissolve literally everything at one point. And water has more dissolving power than any other liquid we created. Think about this. It's unbelievable, actually. It takes water sometimes quite a while to dissolve stuff. But when you think the Grand Canyons are created by water, then you know how much dissolving power actually water has.
Right.
So therefore, be a little bit careful, because the TDS can be amazing good out of amazing healthy minerals, or it can be stuff in it what you don't want to have at all.
That's right. When I was studying water, it was like a double-edged sword. Water is incredible for cleaning stuff, but sometimes it's incredibly hard to clean as well.
Yep, yep, yep.
All right, Martin, that's all the questions I have for you. Let's jump into some of these waters. My mouth is so thirsty. Let's jump into
There
our
we go.
water taste test.
So,
So,
which waters did we send you? We sent you 4
okay.
waters, I believe, huh?
I actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6
Oh
here.
my
I
God.
have the Fiji. I have the
Saratoga.
Saratoga. This is my
Oh,
favorite. This
sparkling.
bottle's beautiful.
Yeah. Is this the still or sparkling one? That's the sparkling one, huh?
Yeah, sparkling.
Okay, so put the Fiji is still, put it to the left and do the sparkling to the right. That I
Okay,
know a little.
sparkling to the right. All right.
Okay, then you have, which one do you else have? You have
Next
Iskilde,
next
Vichy,
one,
okay,
Vichy
sparkling,
Catalan.
Vichy Catal,
Yeah. And
Vichy Catalan.
yeah.
So this is from Spain, that goes into the sparkling version. Let's put it to the sparklings.
Sparkling. Okay, this one is Icelid.
Iskilde. Iskilde. That's a still water that goes to Fiji.
All right, to the left here. And this one is Ararat. Sparkling.
Ararat. Okay, that goes to the sparkling version. That goes between Saratoga and Vichy.
Okay.
So you have Saratoga, Ararat, and then Vichy.
And next we have
3 bays.
3 bays. That's right.
Yeah, 3 base goes to still. So we're starting
Still.
with Fiji. Then
And I
is
have a Smirnoff Ice. Okay, this is sitting next to me.
the other water. Huh?
Right.
Huh?
Yeah.
There's 90% water as well in that beverage.
Yum. Delicious.
I get
Right.
it. I get it. Okay, so you have 3 still, 3 sparkling.
Yes.
Let's start with the still waters.
Okay.
We're going with Fiji first. Then
All
we're
right.
doing Iskilde, and then we're doing 3 base.
All right.
But
Starting
then-
here with the Fiji. The bottle says
Just
from the
pour
island of
yourself
Fiji.
A little bit, huh?
What'd you say?
Because there's a lot of waters now, so you don't want to overhydrate, or you know what the most important thing is in a water tasting, huh?
The most important thing, what would that be?
Knowing where the restrooms are.
Ah, right.
Water tasting, huh? So just pour yourself a little bit, because you wanna drink them all side by side.
I have a tiny bladder, Martin.
Here we go.
I
So
pee a whole lot.
Yeah. So Fiji comes from the Fiji Islands. So it's not a marketing story that sometimes people believe it's an American brand and they're sourcing it here from Los Angeles. No, it's a LA-based family actually who owns that brand, the Resnick family, but the water comes from the Fiji Islands. It has a TDS of 222, and very interesting, there's a lot of silica dissolved naturally. And silica is a key mineral in Fiji, what makes the water very smooth on the palate. I think it's very round, almost like a little sweet in the aftertaste.
I don't taste the
What else do you
sweetness,
like
but
about
it does taste smooth. You know what's funny enough? I get my water from a liquor store. They have these machines. I'm not exactly sure where they actually get their water from, but they have these
tap
machines.
water.
It's just tap water. They don't put it
Yeah,
into a
sure,
filter or
it's tap
nothing.
water. And then there's a filter machine built in.
Okay, but what's
I don't have a
interesting?
problem with. I think it's totally fine. Don't worry about it.
Oh, gotcha. I was gonna say this Fiji tastes like the filtered water that I drink,
Hopefully not.
but it's smooth. It's good though. It's good.
But it's smooth and good. And what I think is pretty cool about Fiji, what I really appreciate then, because I have it here as well. Look at the back label. And they're actually talking about which minerals are dissolved and how much.
There it is. Yeah.
And this should be done by every water company.
It says it here
Like
too.
I said to every water company when I'm working with them, is saying, and I consult with a lot of water companies, I'm always saying that because I want to help them and they need my help, saying, please put your TDS levels, put your minerals onto your label, so the consumer actually sees what's in there.
Yeah.
This stupid pH story drives me nuts. This stupid, high alkaline water, 9.5 pH, and that means shit to your body because everything what I drink will be digested by my very acidic stomach fluid.
That's right.
So it doesn't matter how high the pH, it will get neutralized immediately when I'm drinking it. So don't worry about pH. Worry about the TDS, the minerals. But how can the consumer know what's in the water when the water company doesn't disclose that? And that's a problem. So let's be more like Fiji to have it actually on the bottle.
Right on. Shout out to Fiji. I love the bottle, and I think that one's great. I love the Fiji one a lot so far.
Yeah, it's an iconic bottle. The square shape. There are not so many bottled waters out there. When you just see a shadow of the shape, you would know exactly it's Fiji. The same with the Coca-Cola bottle, the iconic back in the days Coca-Cola bottle, like shaped like a beautiful lady, curves.
Oh wow.
That is the history behind Coca-Cola. It's shaped like a lady.
Really?
We were so attached to our brains because we like that. So that is the history behind that, and therefore Fiji is as well one of the iconic water bottles where you can, even when you don't see the label and nothing, you just see the bottle shape. That's Fiji, and that's pretty iconic. When you have that, then you're pretty good.
That's branding, Martin. That's why you look the way you look. That's why I look the way I wear this. I wear the same shirt in every interview, Martin. Every interview.
Yeah, but that's your branding.
Yeah.
That's your branding. Let's say like this. It's like, what's the German guy with the perfumes? What's his name? Who's like making perfume reviews all the time? Do you know this guy?
I have not seen this guy.
Millions of followers on TikTok. I don't know. What's his name? And he always wears white. Everything is white. Always white. He's a little bit controversial. I think he sniffed a little bit too much perfume. And now he's like, something is off with him. Like he's a little crazy, and people actually having even his fans saying like, I think there's a problem. You should actually seek help. Something is off with him. It's very sad.
It's possible.
Jeez, what's this guy? Yeah, I gotta find out for you.
But yeah, I don't do TikTok. I have TikTok just to like post my stuff on there, but I'm not actively using TikTok because I have too much brain rot in my life already. I can't add another video platform just to spend all my life on, you know.
Jeremy Fragrance is his name. 3.3 million followers on Instagram. That guy.
Oh, nice.
And he's like, a lot of people always telling me, you're like the Jeremy Fragrance, but for water. Because we're both Germans and we're both a little like energetic, let's say it like this. But if he's sad because his reviews were very good, he knows his shit. Like he's not playing it, he knows what he's doing. But it seems like he's a little grifter now suddenly, and I think he's mentally challenged slightly, and this is actually sad.
Oh, that is sad.
It's very sad. When you see his videos now, he reacts sometimes. He's a little off. Yeah, he stands like it's a little. You see it right here. He's a little off right now.
Look at him go.
Yeah. But he made some controversial like talks as well, and it's like, but he's a fun guy. So anyhow,
hey, he got some great dance moves though, Martin.
No, he's good. He's good. I'm not against him, but like he's slightly challenged in the last year. What I see. What is that?
Oh, I'll look into. I know nothing about this dude, but maybe worth a deep dive at some point.
Yeah. He's a funny guy.
All right, what do you got next, Martin? One of the more other distilled.
Okay, so we have Fiji. Let's do Iskilde.
From Denmark.
From Denmark. So Iskilde means ice spring in the Danish language.
Ice spring.
The bottle as well. So this is the bottle what you have right now. Iskilde, this one. The interesting part is, so open the bottle, pour yourself a little bit.
Okay.
And then close the bottle again. because I can do a little magic trick with you.
Okay, I closed the bottle.
You will be the Harry Potter of podcasts now.
All right, it's closed.
Okay, shake the bottle. And now look at your bottle. It's cloudy, huh?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So this is, what do you think what that is? Because it's not carbonation.
Oh, it's just mixing with the air and the water, isn't it?
Try it with a Fiji. It doesn't work.
Oh, right. Yeah. Was there
work.
a settlement on the bottom, perhaps?
Nope.
Oh, is natural carbonation? I don't know. What is it?
No, not at all as well, because you can taste it now and it has no bubbles. There is no carbonation in this water, but it still has this effect when you're shaking it. And now it disappears slightly, huh?
So yeah, it's going away now, yeah.
Yeah. So iskilde means ice spring in the Danish language.
Uh-huh.
And cold water holds more oxygen than warm water does.
Oh.
So when they're bottling that water, it's under very cold temperatures. They're bottling the water at the spring source. They're closing it up. Now this high concentration of oxygen is now concentrated in this bottle and hold it like carbonation. When you open it now and you pour your little self, now there's air suddenly in it, what has more air than it used to have. When you shake it now the gas will evaporate like carbonation.
Wow, so the oxygen's trapped in the water.
Yes, it's air bubbles.
Interesting.
There's nothing wrong about the water. It's not healthier than other waters because there's some oxygenated water you can buy at Aero One. Don't do that, please. That's a marketing scam again. You're not a fish. You cannot bring oxygen through your stomach. That's just crazy. You're breathing oxygen, and we all know when you try to sniff up a bottle of water, game over. Not a good idea.
Right.
So don't do that. So no, iskilde is just a natural occurring, highly oxygenated water, what I think is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It's interesting from a nature standpoint that Mother Nature crafted something like that. And the only effect what this little oxygen bubbles has, it will kind of like clean my palate a little bit better. Because we know we are decanting a wine. We all heard this, like bringing oxygen to a wine to get all the flavors out. This water pretty much decants your palate. And you can taste after you're drinking iskilde water a little bit better. What is pretty awesome.
That is so crazy. As you were saying that, I was getting the sense of it just felt a little cleaner on my tongue.
The TDS is 320, so it's actually a little bit higher even than Fiji water. And there's a little bit more minerality in the aftertaste, I think. Fiji was very smooth and very round. Whereas iskilde, for me, I drink it. It's very refreshing in the beginning, I think. But then you have this almost earthy aftertaste in the aftermath. When you swallowed the water and it's gone, and you're like, what was the taste of the water? And you start to remind yourself, and then you're realizing, wait, this is like slightly interesting and different than Fiji. What I love about iskilde. Iskilde, I think, is a great water. You cannot buy it in the States, what is kind of sad. I'm the only guy who has it. I bought like 4 pallets at one point. And now I'm shipping it to all my friends. And when I'm selling some water boxes sometimes for people who want to do a tasting with me, and then they're getting iskilde from me shipped, but you cannot buy it.
The making the bubbles go from absolutely clear to cloudy is really cool. I wish the camera could capture that. It's kind of hard to see.
Awesome. It helps. Sometimes it helps when you're putting your camera light behind it.
I see.
Underneath. Yeah. And then you can better see it.
Cool. That was fun. You know, it's interesting. I was expecting the dissolved oxygen to impact the taste a lot more because for whatever reason, I remember when we were discussing different elements that go inside of water, they said the higher the dissolved oxygen in the water would make it taste better. Have you ever heard that before?
Yeah, but better. What is better now again?
Right. I guess that is just subjective, isn't it?
When somebody says it will taste better, for what better? Like that is a problem what I have, and that's the reason you will never see me in a video saying this is the best tasting water. Or this is the best water in general. It does not exist. I just did a video about the 3 best waters in America. And in this video, I said there is no best 3 waters in the video. And I showcase different waters for the different lifestyles. But the end of this video was clearly about there is no best water. And you know how Americans are sometimes. They don't actually see the video. They're just seeing a name and they're posting immediately a response. And I received some interesting comments on that video as well to say like, for sure, all in the 3 best waters are fluoride dissolved. It's like, maybe you should watch the video. Because I clearly say there is no best water in that video. It's always funny that people like the attention span for some people is like milliseconds these days. It's very interesting.
It's
But then
true.
have the time to comment. That's for me always surprising. Especially when they're commenting, I don't care about that video.
That's one's so funny to me too, because like I don't even need to say it, but they care enough to leave a comment and watch it.
Correct. So you're so upset about my content that you have to leave a comment? Or you're not scrolling further? I don't understand that. That's for me, like, I will never understand to leave a bad comment on a post what I don't like. This is for me,
That's something I
I
would do
can't wrap my head about it.
when I was a lot younger. I'd leave hate comments on stuff. Like this is like 10 years ago. I was a teenager. That's teenager stuff activity. So people just gotta grow out of it. That's why the snarkers from the H3 universe is so ridiculous. Not only is it like I say maybe like leaving one hate comment, out of like your whole like week. That makes more sense than dedicating your entire life to hating on one thing.
That's crazy.
Not
Let's be honest, in the end, they're all obsessed about something in their life, what they cannot figure out, and they have to project their hatred to others.
And they're dehydrated.
Oh, absolutely. That comes, and then then this scenario of like, I have a problem I cannot deal with, so I need to hate on others. That's pretty much what racism is all about.
Right.
Like, I'm afraid that somebody looks slightly different than me, and I feel now attacked in my personal belief because he doesn't look like what I think a person should look like. So, and then racism starts because I'm afraid of something. And I think the core of racism started back in the days already. It was obviously not called racism. It was just in our DNA because we didn't know better. We were just afraid about everything what's not in our family. We wanted to protect ourselves, our family, from harm from others. That's the core of this belief. But we grow out of that. We became more intelligent. Therefore, we need to be afraid anymore of our neighbors. Our neighbors can be actually very good and friendly now and not be bad. But for some people, they somehow stuck back into the Neanderthals and thinking they still need to hate everything what doesn't look like in their beliefs and their fittings. And this brings me to a very interesting point about the liquid death point, where this person said, but Martin, I know holy water is nothing other than tap water, but when the priest is giving his special meaning to that water, it becomes something new. He's saying, no, the water stays exactly the same. It's still, you believe the water is now something else. And when you believe now actually helps you, and you put this water maybe onto your skin or something, and you feel the healing power of that water, that is amazing. And I love it for you. That does not mean that the water is suddenly better than it was prior before it was tapped and blessed.
The chemical composition is 100% the same,
exactly
but it's all in the mind. If they think anything were to change from it.
Yeah, and this is like, I did a story about Zamzam water. That's a water in the Islamic culture, very, very important for the Islamic people. And it comes from a very unique spring source. It's called the Zamzam water, and people honoring that water. And a lot of Islamic people bring that water as well to the United States and drinking it then like over the years, or maybe when they're feeling sick or something, because they believe this water has healing powers. So I did a water tasting for several years ago in an apartment building, was invented. And suddenly a family showed up with the Zamzam water and said, Martin, we want to share something with you because we really enjoyed the water tasting table. My brother, who passed away last year, on his last trip to the United States, brought us some Zamzam water. So for them, that water was so special. And I feel so honored, was able to taste this water. Was this now the best tasting water I ever had? Absolutely not. Was this now something special from a chemical standpoint, the water? No. But I understood the meaning what he had, because it is the Zamzam water from the holy spring source in the Islamic culture. And his brother, again, who passed away, brought the water to him. So this water was super special.
Yeah.
And I appreciate it was special for him. That does not mean that the water suddenly has healing powers.
Right.
And that was my topic about the liquid death video, where I said, because you're thinking suddenly is something does not mean it's actually a fact. And my channel is about facts and not about beliefs. I love the stories behind it sometimes, and I explain the stories, why it can have an impact then on your well-being because you believe in something. But that does not mean that the water actually helped you because there was 50 grams of sodium in it.
I mean,
no,
The power of belief can be quite strong, though.
Oh, I
You know
know.
placebos, right? I mean,
I
if they really
know.
believe something so strongly, who knows, Martin? Who knows what it could
And
actually
I'm
do?
happy that they believe it. And when
Yeah.
it helps them, I think it's great. But don't tell me that my belief is now wrong.
Hmm.
That is where I have the issue
I
with
see.
these people. When they believe in something, I love it for them. And when they believe their water and when they believe liquid death is poisoning to them and they should do something else, great. But don't go online and tell everybody that liquid death is poison.
Right,
But
right,
that
right.
is just wrong.
Hmm.
It's just wrong. And that comes back to actually racism. That means they're better and they know better, and everybody has to be in their core what they believe in than everybody else.
Right.
And that's a problem for me. That
Well
is
said,
where
Martin.
racism starts. To think I'm better than you. That's what that is. And it's
Perfect, Martin.
sickening to me.
Well said. That water took us some places. Let's see where this next one takes us. We're
So,
doing
okay, so we
three
have
base.
3 base. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Very interesting water. Comes from Australia, from the 3 Bay region. It's a little bit southern of Melbourne. And the water has a very unique story because the water comes down as rainwater in New Zealand. It takes 2,000 years to pass through different stone layers to come then up in a natural occurring artesian spring source under pressure in Australia. So it
There's
travels quite a long way.
there's lots of different like rewards and stuff on the label of the bottle
It's a
here.
very highly awarded water. It's for me a very unique water. This is a water I gave, I think, in one of the water tastings 100 points. That means like best water in my belief in that moment.
Wow.
And not
Tastes-
best for taste, just best for the history what this water brings to the table. Because it has a TDS of 1,300. It's very thick. The texture is different. It's heavy on your palate. What I think is absolutely unique about this water, and I had this water on Netflix on the Zac Efron show. It was called back in the days Life because they had a little problem with their name after the show came out, and the Chinese company said, we know, we own the name Life. They had to rebrand to 3Base, what I think is a way better name, actually, by the way. And Anna Kendrick was sitting there with me, and she's like, I cannot believe how crazy water can get. She could not believe about this water. This heaviness, interesting taste profile of this. It's almost like olive oil from a taste, from a texture standpoint. But I love 3Base for it. I think it's awesome.
It definitely has the deepest flavor out of the other two
Yeah.
that we've tried so far.
Yeah. It's a very unique water. Cool.
Yeah.
Now we have 3 sparklings.
All right, I'm excited for the
That was
sparkling.
Saratoga.
Saratoga.
The blue iconic
The blue.
bottle.
So does being a blue bottle change the impact of the contents inside at all? Like maybe like the way the light refracts into it
Yes.
somehow?
It does. Water doesn't like light. And a blue bottle captures better the core value of the water than
Oh
than-
crap!
I'll be getting wet with the water. Unbelievable. Already, now we are back to that topic.
What a premature
Really?
discharge
We
right
just
here.
talked
Not
about
again.
squirting and all this kind of stuff, and now you're doing it right in front of us.
This reminds me of my teen days.
Oh, you had fun, huh? Good. Good for you.
All right, let's do it. Clean it up.
No,
here.
Saratoga is a very cool water.
Wow.
Again, this blue,
I can't.
blue water.
I can't believe I caught that too. That's hilarious. I gotta open up real
It's a very
slowly.
unique,
Whoa.
it's their trademark. This
Nice.
blue bottle.
Oh, really? And so no one else can make this shade of blue.
I don't want to say no one else can, because there are other water countries out who definitely have blue waters. Like I have one here as well.
Oh, the bubbles are going
This one
crazy.
is blue as well. This one,
Oh, that's a way different shade though.
yeah, definitely. But it's almost the same blue. Then Splendor water, it's a nice water as well. This one is great. Like has a very blue.
Oh, that one's very similar actually.
Yeah. So there are some water brands out there who have the same. But for American brand Saratoga, this one here,
Wow.
everybody knows immediately. So TDS pretty low actually, 40 TDS. So we're going back in minerality, but now we have carbonation. And the interesting part, a lot of people always think when they're tasting Saratoga after some still waters, they almost feel like there's a lemon or lime slice dissolved in it.
I was gonna say this tastes like a soda.
It's obviously not. It's
Yeah.
just water. It's highly percent natural spring water. This comes from the White Cedar spring source in Maine, actually. I've been at the spring source. They invited me as well once. Very cool to see. What is very beautiful to see that these big companies, they really want to do better. So what they did, they invited me and showcased what they're doing to be transparent, what I think a water company should be in the first place. So anyhow, they invited me and they showed me that they have water stewards at the spring source, and they have everywhere, like in the wetlands where they're harvesting the water, they have measure points and making sure that Mother Nature will not have a negative impact on the overall water use, what they're pulling out of nature. And I think that's great.
Yeah.
That's a good thing to see, like to see a spring source realizing, wait a minute, Mother Nature is our actually greatest asset. We need Mother Nature to provide this amazing water to you. So therefore, they do everything in their power to protect that area. So by drinking bottled water from a spring source, you're actually helping Mother Nature. A lot of people always think it's the other way around. No, but these bottles, they're selling you Mother Nature. So therefore, they need to protect Mother Nature to make sure it's in perfect intact. When they would destroy that part of land, no more spring, no more sales. Versus a purified water brand who's based on tap water, they don't give a shit if the spring source is protected or not, because they're just using tap.
I missed it though. Sorry, the water was so distractingly good. I missed the first little part of what you were talking about. Were you saying that this is naturally carbonated, or just did they infuse
No, it's artificially carbonated.
Okay,
It's still spring source. They're adding the carbonation artificially to it, but I don't have a problem with. It's a gas. Your body does not know the difference between natural carbonation and artificially carbonated. It's a gas.
Gotcha.
Body, again, like doesn't see the difference there. But it's low in minerality, 40 TDS, and therefore it has actually a pretty round mouthfeel. Sometimes waters can be super acidic. That's not that acidic. Even it's a carbonated water.
Gotcha.
I like it.
Do certain like brands try to be like as carbonated as possible, or does it really like not? Yeah. Okay.
This depends what they want. For example, Topo Chico is super carbonated.
Right.
They want to be super carbonated. I have it here somewhere as well. Because, right there. They need to be super carbonated because they want to mix it in cocktails. When you're mixing a medium carbonated water into a cocktail, you will dilute the medium carbonation even further with the still cocktail, obviously, and then you barely have any carbonation anymore. But when you're doing a whiskey soda or tequila soda or reposado soda or vodka soda, you still want the effect of carbonation. So you need to have a good amount of carbonation in the first place in the bottle to make sure you still have the carbonation in your soda later on.
That's great.
So that's the reason high carbonation is great for cocktails.
I've never been a fan of carbonated water before, but this, I feel like I could drink this a lot. This
is great. Right I have it here at home as well. I love Saratoga Sparkling. It's a good water.
Cool. Would you say how would you like rank it in terms of like carbonation amount in terms of other carbonated water?
It's a medium carbonated water.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not fully carbonated, but it's not effervescent. Effervescent is for me like a hint of carbonation. That's a medium carbonation for me.
Perfect. All right. Let's move on to the next one, Martin.
Yeah. But I like it. It's good. Okay, the next one, Ararat. From Armenia.
A very tall bottle.
Europe. Yeah, carbonation as well. Be careful, huh? They're all carbonated. But we're doing
okay, I closed it. All right, I was about to explode too.
I warned you. That's not on me now, huh? When you're doing like a wet gangbang over there, that's not my problem now.
So true, Martin. All
right. Ararat has a very cool story. First of all, high in minerality, 2,400 TDS. That's a good amount of minerality. 2,400 TDS. That means it has more electrolyte than a Gatorade now.
Wow.
Naturally occurring. Again, naturally. Nothing's been added to these waters besides maybe carbonation. But this is natural carbonated water now. Ararat.
Cool. All right, let's get a shot. Very strong flavor.
Definitely the minerality. In the aftertaste, the carbonation level as well, it's like way stronger than the Saratoga.
Very strong.
Yeah. Interesting part is, again, we talked a little bit about religion. And for people who believe in religion, we all heard about the Arch Noah. Then the two when the big flood came and all the animals had to go on the
Ah,
ark.
Noah's Ark.
Yeah, Noah's Ark. So Noah's Ark was stranded after the big flood at Mount Ararat, where this water is coming from. So for people who believe in that story, that's actually a very interesting, unique story. Let's say it like that.
That's very interesting. You know,
I love water. Great water for steaks.
that's so interesting. I will be honest. This is actually my, in terms of flavor, is my least favorite of the ones we've tasted so far.
Because, and again, it's all about different taste profiles. There is no best. There is no best. Some people love salty water. Some others say, no, I want a smooth water. Who's right and who's wrong? You both drink water. That's great. Like, that's all the point behind it. Like, there is no best. And even when you said, oh, this is my least favorite, that means that proves my point pretty much that water has taste.
It does, yeah.
But there's
Very
some
much.
people out there who always think, oh, water has no taste. It's all the same. No, it's not. Again, when I'm always saying, when people think water has no taste, they don't drink enough water. It's that simple. Okay, last but not least, Vichy Catalan. Be careful, again, carbonation.
Gotcha.
That can explode in your hand as well, that water.
Very slowly.
I always open, close, open, close, open, close. What I do. Very unique water from Spain. Comes a little bit northern of Barcelona. Has a TDS of 3052.
It's pretty high.
So even more now mineral composition than Ararat has.
Really? No way.
And it will be even slightly stronger than Ararat. It has over 1,000 milligrams of sodium dissolved. So it's a very salty water.
I'm not sure if it's stronger, but the taste is definitely more unique too. All three of these sparkling ones taste very, very different. I feel like the flats, the flavor profile was a lot similar to each other, but the sparkling ones, the flavor varying quite crazy between the three.
And now that comes again, and I can tell you why. First of all, the carbonation is kind of like a catalyst on your palate. It will bring up more flavors because there's more now energy now due to the carbonation as well. You have a totally different mouthfeel immediately. Second, natural carbonate waters, what is, for example, Vichy Catalan and Mount Ararat, are always very high in TDS. Why? Because think about it. All water comes from the same source. It's ocean water at one point. Water cycle. Doesn't matter how beautiful these bottles look like. There's a study done. At least in each water bottle, there's one water molecule what used to be in a dinosaur.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. So water cycle.
Right.
So 97% of all the waters in the ocean, it evaporates. Clouds are created, coming to Los Angeles. We just had big rain. Comes down as rainwater. Now it's kind of like purified water. Barely any minerals dissolved.
Right.
Now it starts to pass through different stone layers and will pick up minerality because, again, water is a universal solvent. It can maybe pick up as well CO2 from grounds where they used to have volcanic reactions. So it passes through CO2, the water becomes now slightly acidic, has even more dissolving power now. And again, for your body, don't worry about acidic waters. It's fine to drink because your stomach is acidic, you're neutralizing it. So don't worry about that. When I talk to Mother Nature, there is no stomach who neutralizes the acidic water. So the water becomes acidic, has more dissolving power, and therefore natural carbonate waters are always high in minerality. Have to, because they're acidic, bring more minerals to it, to the stone layers, and therefore they always have like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. My highest water, I have it down there, I can show it to you, has 31,000 TDS.
Really? You know, I was watching a stream earlier. I mentioned that I was going to be interviewing with you, and they mentioned that, you know, there's a certain point where the total dissolved solids starts to become dangerous. How far away from a level of danger?
Yeah, so for example, like this here, it's from Hungary. And you see it down here as well. Like I can even like pull it up. Now you see it like
you can see all of it.
Like, here we go. The residue.
It's thick. Right. That is thick. You see chunks. There's chunks in there.
Literally like you should hydrate better when this looks like your special love juice.
Right.
Then you should definitely drink a little bit more water. So this is so high in minerality that this is obviously not for daily consumption anymore.
Right.
And this is not the idea to drink these kind of waters is actually for medicine purposes. And that brings me to my last point, because that's really interesting. What a lot of people don't know. But I have it here. I have the proof here, for example. This one. For sure, you know Gerolsteiner. It's a brand out of Germany, and you can find at Trader Joe's.
Hmm.
And Gerolsteiner is like this. It looks like this. But the Gerolsteiner here in Europe looks in United States looks slightly different than this one, because this one comes from a slightly different spring source than the Gerolsteiner you have here in the States. And this water Gerolsteiner, it says Heilwasser. That means healing water.
Mm.
And when this label is on a bottle, and we have 60 water brands who are falling under the healing water law in Germany, they are nothing else than state-approved medication.
Cool.
This is state-approved medication in Germany. It's not just water. And you see it here as well. There's a medication approving number printed on this bottle.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at the back label, it reads like a medication back label. And even here, it's really funny. You would never think that a water bottle needs to say this. In German, it says here, it's not consumable for children under 12 years.
For water? Wow.
But it's water from
Yeah.
a natural spring source. They don't add the healing stuff in there. That comes from Mother Nature.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that is the thing with these here, with this extremely high TDS waters. These are meant for medication. This is not hydration. Big difference. So there are some waters out there who are not meant for hydration. And this, for example, or this is not for hydration. That is for a supplement in your lifestyle. It's the same when you're going to GNC and buying magnesium tablets or calcium tablets because your doctor told you you need more calcium or magnesium. That's where these companies come and play. They have
Interesting.
so much certain minerals dissolved. What makes the water has an impact on your body besides hydration.
What?
They're just, and they're even saying how much water you have to drink on a daily basis for that, but that's not your intake of normal water.
In what context would you be medically recommended to drink either one of these two waters right here?
Like, I'm not a doctor.
Uh-huh.
So I will never go online to say what other TikTokers are doing or Instagrammers doing and saying like, I know everything. And when you have kidney stones, you should drink that water. And I get all these questions all the time. And I'm always saying, I'm not a doctor. I cannot answer this. And it drives me nuts to see online people who don't have a doctor title, have nothing to do with doctors or with the healing or pharmaceutical industry, and then telling us what we have to do from a health standpoint. Absolutely wrong for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a water sommelier. My specialization is to bring attention to water in general and about mostly taste. And these kind of waters, I think, are super interesting to talk about them, to say, hey, there is more into water than that. But I will not be the person, when you have that problem, drink that.
Mm-hmm.
That's not my job.
Gotcha.
The same, you would not go to your physician tonight when you're doing your checkup and ask them, oh, by the way, I'm going afterwards to a nice steakhouse. Can you recommend a red wine for me? Your doctor would be like, why are you asking me about a red wine for your steak later? That's the same for me as a water sommelier.
Yeah.
When you ask me now, Martin, which water do I need to drink when I have a lack of enzymes in my blood? I have no clue. That's not my job. And I will never answer that. And people who will answer that online, they are charlatans. You should not listen to them in the first place.
Gotcha. Have you tasted both of these waters?
I tasted all of them.
Ooh.
Every water you see here in this room, I tasted in my life. And obviously, these waters are completely disgusting. No, actually, there's so much sulfur dissolved, it smells like a rotten egg.
Ew. It smells too?
No, it smells. It has an extremely bad odor.
Wow.
You don't want to drink that. Like, it's absolutely disgusting, that stuff. But it's fun for me to understand that Mother Nature can craft something like that. That is, for me, mind-blowing.
That's
But
crazy.
you don't want to drink that.
Gotcha. I'll keep an eye out for that one if I see it out in the wild.
You
We'll
won't.
avoid it.
You have to go to Hungary for that.
All right, very good, Martin. All right, that concludes our interview, Martin. Would you like to plug anything before we close it out?
In the end, I think, like, when it comes to two things, when it comes to water, be happy that you have running tap water at home, and please save it, because 2.2 million people in America don't have access to running tap water. They don't have tap water at home. 2.2 million people in this country don't have running tap. So be very thankful that you have running tap water at home. That's for me the first approach, because let's be honest, what we did today is have something very luxurious, because 1 out of 4 people on this planet not even have that. They don't have drinking water accessible to them. So we should be very thankful that I have this amazing water selection here. And this is for me a very important topic on my socials as well, to talk about that injustice of human right. Because it is a human right that everybody should have access to clean, safe drinking water. By the way, even for that comment, I get flagged sometimes by some crazy people. Even that is controversial for some people when I'm saying, I think it's a human right that everybody should have access to clean, safe drinking water. Then you know how crazy people are these days.
Right.
But that is a problem for you. Like, that's insane. And on the H3 side, obviously, because this is H3 related, don't roll yourself up about snarkers, guys. Smile at them. Kill them with kindness. Because that is exactly what they cannot handle. They cannot handle kindness. This is too much for them, because then they don't know how to react about it. And there was one comment I received once about this burn in hell. And I said, I can't because I'm fully hydrated.
Got him.
And that is exactly how to deal with these kind of comments. Like, you have to find a way to bring kind of like almost like craziness to their argument. To make it like, that's really funny that you're thinking this is controversial. Come on. That has to be a joke or something like that. That they, trust me, they will burn because they don't know how to react that. But when you're obviously, they're fighting and you respond with a stupid fight, this is how they love to, they eat on pain. They love that shit. This is why they're snarking, because they love controversy. So the more you're getting pissed off about them, the more they will like it. But the more you make it fun to them and ridiculous how crazy they actually are, because they have no clue who H3Y, Hila, for example, are. They have no clue about all the other team members, but I know them all personally. And they're great people in my book. They're the nicest people, everybody.
I met them in person too, and like, they are exceptionally nice.
Correct. They just want to bring content to them, and for free even. Yes, you can do membership, but let's be honest, you can watch 2 or 3 shows per week for fucking free. Yeah. That's your problem. When you don't like them, just watch something else. But to tell me now, they're raping their own children or whatever crazy stuff they are saying, people, that is just insane. And then you should, like, they're meant, again, for me, it's mentally challenged. I feel sorry actually for all these snarkers. They're clearly dehydrated. Again, that's my biggest insult I can give. But don't roll yourself up about their hate. And don't respond with hate, because they will love that actually. Respond with funny memes or make it ridiculous, and trust me, they will stop eventually because they will hate it. That you will not get into their playbook. Awesome. That's all what it is.
Fantastic advice.
Let yourself get rolled away from your happy family. And let's be honest, it is an amazing family we can be in. Again, sure, I love all your supporters of the H3. I love the team. I love you as well, Alex. It's great to be on it. I feel honored as well to do it. And sorry, it took us a little while, but I'm pretty busy all the time. But it was so nice. I wanted to reach out and said, listen, let's do this now. Let's really make it happen. And we made it now happen here. But we are family. We are strong together. And that is all what counts. But do not let yourself sidetrack from some idiots. Don't do it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Martin. Very well said. And we very much appreciate you too. Thank you so much.
Always here for you. Always here.